Hello, Watem here, and welcome back to more Umineko When Seagulls Cry. I almost started this as a virtual camera instead of recording, but let's continue. Also, it's too soon to be relieved.
念のためや。
Just in case what?
どうせこの天気じゃ夜と変わらんわ。
As he whispered, he did something that made a clunking sound. He was probably closing the shutters on the windows. Just in case? In case I try to escape out the window? No, that can't be it. Right. When I left the parlour, everyone was talking about possibly taking a break. After all, several murders have occurred. Weather's bad. There'd be nothing abnormal if someone chose to rest in a guest room here instead of returning to the guest house. In that case, locking up and closing the shutters to guarantee safety is the proper course of action to take. When he finished closing the shutters, there was a thunk as though he'd flopped over on the bed. It was surprising how much of a situation could be grasped just by the sound. What's going on here? The man from 19 years ago plan all this out to put me in the same room as Hideyoshi-san? No, that probably isn't true. He probably planned on me hiding here, but Hideyoshi-san coming to take a rest here must have been outside the scope of his plan. Oh, it seemed he had a key to the stream. So who gave him the key? Thinking about it that way, having him in the room might be odd, but it also might guarantee my own safety. Unlike his wife, Hideyoshi-san is the kind of person I can talk to. If ever sun comes, things will probably get complicated. Maybe I should slip out of this closet now while he's still alone. Deal everything to just him and ask for help. But if I do that, my husband might be killed. Until my husband is released, I shouldn't do anything rash. Should I go out and talk, or hide in here? Moaning from my headache and biting my lower lip, I resisted the urge to crawl out of here. Even if I talk with Hideyoshi-san, I don't know where my husband is being held. I'm sure the traitor who's observing me is nearby. Just talking to him won't solve everything. I suspect that Shannon is a traitor, but there's no proof that Gorda and the others aren't. It's all useless. I guess leaving here and confessing is too dangerous after all. Eventually, I heard a strange sobbing voice. Whose voice was it? I strained my ears, trying to hear that strange voice. I was shocked to discover it was Hideyoshi weeping. Hideyoshi, who had lost his only son, was finally able to shed tears and cry now that he was all alone like this. Thinking that he needed to support Eva in her distress, he acted as though he alone was standing firm. However, he has as good a right to cry as anyone, and now that he's found a place where no one can see his tears, finally let himself do it. I've lost my daughter. I haven't seen her corpse with my own eyes, so it still doesn't really feel like she's dead. But if the one who carried her off was the culprit, and he had some repulsive motive for doing it, just thinking about it makes me feel as though my chest will tear itself apart. The reason I'm hiding in here now is that I'm thinking more about my still living husband than my dead daughter. If I were given the chance, I'd be wailing at the top of my lungs too. However, still cannot let myself do that. It isn't because the man from 19 years ago told me to hide. Because I'm the final head of the Ushiramiya family. Been completely overshadowed by the recent uproar, but last night, Bashir-kun found the hidden gold and even gained the head's ring from that mysterious envelope. At the very, very end, when it's all over, probably won't be able to prevent his ascension as the head. And when everything regarding the distribution of the inheritance is revealed, the Ushamiya family honor and glory passed down from father will plummet to the earth. So, I am the final head. Battlecon will probably inherit the remaining wealth of the Ushamiya family. However, its history and honor will all end with my generation. Therefore, I am the final head. I must not cry. Not yet. Until I get my husband back and avenge my daughter, I will not be allowed to shed tears. In the closet, I silently hung my head as I listened to Hideyoshi-san's sobs. Huh? My heart leapt. I heard a sound that must have been Hideyoshi-san, who'd probably been lying prostrate on the bed, bounding to his feet. Did he notice me? And she's going to be witness to a murder. She's clearly in a struggle with someone. Who on earth could it be? No, it doesn't matter who it is. Probably the culprit. They're trying to take Hideyoshi-san's life. Couldn't I jump out of here and help him? If I can't help him, shouldn't I call for help? No. But if I do something like that, I'll be questioned about why I was hiding here. However, if Hideyoshi-san gets killed like this, and you're hiding in the closet... No, now isn't the time to be saying that. At this rate, he'll certainly be killed. I'll jump out of here and help him right now. But if I do that, even if I can save Hideyoshi-san, I might be abandoning my husband's life. Hideyoshi-san's life and my husband's life. How sinful it would be to try and weigh those against each other. At that time, there was a loud sound as the door opened and the chain was pulled tight. Someone was trying to open the door despite the chain being set. And she's gonna go get the bolt copters, come back and find just Natsui. Okay, so the idea that I had at the end of the last part of giving Natsui an alibi, yeah, that's false, it seems. It's definitely back to the first idea of framing her. She opened and closed the door over and over again with all her might, but of course she couldn't snap the chain. Oda-san called for help in a loud voice and raced through the hallway. By this time, the room had settled back into silence. The earlier sense of Hideyoshi being in a noisy struggle had disappeared completely. What's going on here? You lost your opportunity. So right now, I'm in the same room as the murderer who killed Hideyoshi-san. In that case, the culprit should try to escape from the room as soon as possible. Why are they hiding in here? I haven't heard anything. Nothing that might have been the culprit who attacked Hideyoshi-san rushing away. No matter how much I strain my ears, I can't sense anyone in the room. In fact, it's so silent that it makes what happened just a second ago feel like an illusion. In other words, does this mean that the culprit is hiding his breath? Standing just outside this closet? But yeah, going out would have been a good opportunity to at least see who the culprit was. Waiting for me to stumble out. I don't even know what I should be scared of anymore. If only I could just melt away into the darkness of this closet. I mustn't remain in this room any longer. You're gonna get found. I get the feeling I have more to worry about than just my personal safety. But what should I do? I don't even know if it's a good idea to leave this closet. Eventually, the clamour of many rushing footsteps approached. I'll hold my breath again and melt away into the darkness of the closet. You'll be found. Eva dashed back, bringing everyone with her, and they'll find that the door has the chain set. Gordo was gripping some wire cutters to cut the chain with, and everyone will be in attendance. After trying to open the door again and confirming that the chain was still set, she yelled through the crack in the door. Oh, that's interesting. Because she was able to open up the door slightly, which meant that the door itself was unlocked but the chain was set. But I'm pretty sure that Hideyoshi was described as having locked the door. Right? Going back up. Where did we start? Yeah. No, a bit before that. Locking up and closing the shutters. Did he lock the door on the way in? Did he set the chain? Yes, here we go. Sound of him closing and locking the door behind him. But when Eva came, the door wasn't locked. He set the chain as well, though? The chain is the main obstacle. The door lock is something else. Perhaps some kind of mechanism to set the chain or unset the chain. That way... no, they have to get past the door lock first. Unless they're already in the room, perhaps under the bed or something. And then... Kill Hideyoshi. No, they have to unlock the door before they kill him, though, because otherwise Eva wouldn't have been able to open the door up in the first place. That is intriguing.
Hi.
Got a stuck large wire cutter, which looked like it could slice off a whole finger through the crack of the door, and easily severed the chain. As soon as it was severed, Eva pushed Goda aside and dashed in. The others tried to follow her, but they bumped into Eva, who had fallen to her knees, moaning. Even though they couldn't tell much of what was going on inside the room, they could tell by Eva's moans that they were too late. And since the chain was still set, they'll obviously consider that the culprit might still be in the room, and so they will certainly find Eva during their search. You gave him the key.
お風呂場には誰もいない？
はい。誰もおりません。
なんということでしょう。
They're gonna do a thorough check.
残念だが手の施しようがない。
I'll check that scene. I'm guessing that's going to be Hideyoshi's portrait being updated to being dead. Nanjo stood up, hanging his head sadly. It was only natural, because anyone, even if they weren't a doctor, would think that at a glance. Hideyoshi, lying face down on the bed, stuck deep into his back, something like a blade with an intricate demonic design on it. Whenever pulled it out with all her might, they could tell that it wasn't a blade, but some kind of stake. Yeah, let's have a look at it. Corpse discovered in a guest room on the first floor of a mansion. He'd been pierced through the back with a demon stake. Its tip reached as far as his lungs. Because he was lying face down on the bed, suicide must be ruled out. I guess it depends where in the back. Someone could pierce himself. And that sharp tip had penetrated nearly 15 centimeters in. Probably dug deep into the lungs. If it had been stuck in any harder, the tip might have pierced all the way through to the surface of his chest.
多分犯人は俺たちが油断してばらけるのを待ってたんだろうな。ちくせろね。まだ血が足りねえってのかよ。
やはりこの屋敷のどこかに隠れていて私たちを狙っているのでしょうか。
Well, someone had to have suggested this room.
それよりおかしいわ。この部屋は戸締まりが完璧なのよ。
Yep.
確かに鎧戸も全て閉まってますし、扉にはさっきまでチェーンが。
So, unless they've got a way to set the door chain, the issue is then how they got in the first place, unless they've got a master key. So a master key and some mechanism for setting and unsetting the door chain would work.
それはおかしいではありませんか。それじゃ犯人はどうやってこのお部屋の秀吉様を襲ったというんですか。
And so it will be that they're
扉
still...
の隙間からこの杭を投げて刺したとか。
Okay, God.
その隙間から秀吉さんのベッドは完全に死角よ。銃を使ったって殺せやしない。おかしな話になったわ。
Unless the culprit is still in the room.
密室殺人。
密室殺人。
そうと決めつけるのは早いぜ。風呂場の天井を外して天井裏に逃げたとか、あるいは鎧戸が実は外からでも閉められるとかね。
鎧戸は
Oh. Are you going to use red?
外からはびくともしませんでした。
How have you already checked?
今確認してきました。
Ow.
ウリコ。
No wonder everything felt so quiet and relaxed. At some point, Erica had split from the group. Just now, she had finally arrived and poked her face in from the hallway. When she heard that a crime had occurred in this room, she'd watched everyone rush towards the room, but circled around to the outer wall herself. How can you be sure that you found the right room? And she'd gone all by herself to check that the shutter was down on the window. But you couldn't do anything with it from the outside. And there was nothing out of the ordinary.
室内は案の定お約束で。
そういう言い方はねえだろ。
お悔やみ申し上げます。で、室内の状況は？
Unconfirmed.
扉にはチェーンがかかっていて、私たちは切断して入ったわ。
そして窓には全て鎧戸。しっかり内側から施錠されてる。
奥は何を揉めてるんです？
Eva was arguing with Nanjo about something. Apparently she wanted to carry the corpse to the parlor. Nanjo tried to calm her, saying that she should leave the crime scene as untouched as possible until the police came.
ジョージたちの死体はそうしたらどうなったの？犯人にどこかへ持っていかれちゃったのよ。犯人は殺すだけじゃ飽き足らず、遺体にまで何か無体なことをするつもりなのかもしれない。だからダメ。ここへ主人を一人ぼっちで残していくなんて絶対ダメ。
But it does have a point. After all, the victims before now have all been carried away after we were shown their terrible wounds.
エリカちゃん、現場をそのままで保存したいだろうが、今回はちょいと折れてもらうぜ。
どうぞご勝手に。私にとって興味があるのは金蔵さんの書斎よりはるかにまともな密室が出現したことだけです。死体には興味ありませんので、どうぞご自由になさってください。
Battler's expression was clearly unhappy, but she ignored him completely.
搬出していただいて結構ですよ、死体。あ、それとも私が邪魔ですか？
Erica backed away from the door to open a path. She showed no trace of any sadness for the dead. Her eyes simply blazed with thoughts of this closed-room murder that had appeared. In any event, the great detective had given her permission. Eva and some others wrapped Hideyoshi up in the sheets, and Gordon and Rudolph carried him out. The sheets were quickly stained red. It was so painful to see that Shannon and Kumasawa stripped the blanket off the bed to further cover the corpse.
ほら、起き上がれ。
え、どいてますよ。
100枚運ぼう。
はい。
あなた、あなた。
Are they all just going to the parlor? They're not searching?
いいこと？みんな。
Or are they splitting up?
これからは常に団体行動よ。
Okay, yeah.
絶対に孤立してはダメ。
犯人は源氏さんを襲った時点でマスターキーを得ているはずだ。施錠がもはや安全を保証しないことは明白だぞ。
しかしチェーンまでされていたのにどうやって？
不可能だ。鎧戸もチェーンロックもしっかりかかっていた。マスターキーがあったってあの部屋に押し入るのは不可能だ。
So, again, if they have some mechanism of having a mechanical arm reach in to set and unset the chain, it would be possible.
とベアトリーチェ様の仕業ですよ。
ベアトリーチェ様のはずありません。碑文は解かれ、すでに儀式の意味は失われたはず。
わかるものがこんなの魔女にしか不可能だ。
魔女にしか不可能ですか。グッド。いい響きです。
エリカちゃん、話を聞いてる？私たちはこれから全体行動って決まったわ。私たちはまず秀吉さんの遺体を客前へ運ぶ。
If your goal is to keep watch over Hideyoshi-san's corpse, then you should keep it here for now until you're finished with the room, and then all go to the parlor together.
探偵ごっこはそれからにしない？
When she heard the words playing detective, Erica grimaced visibly. Then, everyone stumbled out, and she took a single step into the now empty guest room, looked around, and burned that scene into her eyes. Erica claimed to have a photographic memory. If that was true, those few seconds were more than enough for her. Later on, she could sip black tea in the parlour while perusing the photograph of the scene inside her memory, playing the part of an armchair detective. Then, suddenly, her eyes stopped on the closet off to the side. Closet for hanging overcoats. I was thinking she will get back to her parlour and then realise there was a closet there. I should have checked the closet. But no, seems that she's found it. And yeah. If it was large enough to fit a coat on a hanger, a person should be able to hide in it. Indeed. Slowly, Erica stretched her hand out towards the closet and got called back. Or does she open it? Oh. Erica's shoulder was grabbed roughly from behind.
行くぜ探偵さん。
At the closet.
軟体行動を乱すなって修学旅行で習わなかったか。
The closet.
私が旅行に行くと必ず人が死ぬってお約束がありまして。
Isn't that the title of the book? I'm pretty sure that's the title of the book. Give me a second. Every time I go on a vacation, someone dies. Is a novel. Apparently published this year. Got from a bookstore earlier.
ほら、何してやがるガキども。早く来い。
Rudolph told them to hurry. After clicking her tongue and glaring at the closet, Erica followed Battler back to the parlour for the time being. The sound of their footsteps finally faded. That time of terror, when I feared that even the dripping of the cold sweat covering my cheeks might be noticed, finally ended. My hands that still couldn't stop trembling, I slowly opened the closet door and dashed out into the hallway. It's okay, no one's found me. Still, it's a good thing they didn't lock the door. If they had, I wouldn't be able to lock it behind me after I left, and they'd find that suspicious. Anyway, I should leave this place. I'll return to my room and pretend that I was sleeping the whole time. Yes, if I don't get back soon, new murder has occurred. They'll probably try and tell me about it. And we'll probably do it shortly after they carry Hideyoshi-san's corpse back to the parlour. And get around a phone call by saying I was asleep and didn't notice. But if they come knocking directly, that would be bad. The issue with carrying Hideyoshi's corpse back to the parlour is that they can't just leave it in the parlour, they have to bring it with them all the time. I have to get back quickly before they try to force their way in. I don't know whether I should run all out noisily, hide my footsteps and walk secret, walk around normally as though nothing has happened. At the very least, it will be bad if I bump into them on their way back to the parlour. Anyway, I'll head to my room at a quick pace, without being noticed by anyone. I only have to wonder, did she last the full hour? Pass through the hallway to the lobby. Go up the big staircase in the lobby. My room is just a little bit.
夏日さん
I was thinking maybe we should go back down into the parlour. See, and act as if she'd just come from her room. Just as she was about to go up to the large staircase, that's when you heard Erica call out to her, and was so surprised that she visibly jumped. And on that note, before we can get any further with that, I'm going to be ending it there for today. I hope you've all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments, and until next time, see ya.